Hello, Sugar Island Church. It's the Piskula family here. I wanted to touch base with you on what the past year has been like for us. Because of the pandemic, obviously, I am not coming in person, but I would love to see you all. Unfortunately, that's just not going to happen. Um, Also, because of the pandemic, we've been homeschooling all four of our kids. It's very draining and exhausting and challenging, but I absolutely love it. Um, they're all doing really well in it. Jackson has been pulled out of his therapy programs as well. We have been quarantined several times this summer because we were exposed to the virus, and it just became too much. We couldn't see our family and stuff, so we pulled him out of therapy. So I am now doing all of his therapy as well. So it's definitely challenging, and my laundry is never done, but we're making it. So our oldest son, Robert, he's 12, and he's going to be 13 in January. Robert's doing well with his homeschooling. Um, and then our second oldest is Noah. He's 8. He'll be 9 at the beginning of December. Noah's doing very well in school. He really wishes he could play football and see his friends a little bit more, but he's doing very, very good. Jackson is doing 4K with me at home. And he's really thriving. I mean, he is being able to comprehend a lot of what I'm telling him, and he knows his ABCs, and he's recognizing numbers and letters. He's able to like read numbers and letters and identify shapes and colors. So, like, as academic as 4K can get, academically, Jackson is doing really well. There's some things with communication I think that he struggles with a little bit, but otherwise he's really doing great with it. And then Charlotte is only 3, but because we're homeschooling, I mean, she just does school with us. So she's getting the hang of all of that as well. So she's doing well with it. The past year, we've had a pretty good year. Last year at this time, we were up to like 45 seizures in the year, and this year he's had 3. So Jackson's doing really well with his seizure control. 2 months ago, or a month and a half ago or so, we went in for just annual checkup. He gets an MRI of his brain, so they have to put him under, and they just scan his brain and look at his brain tumor and see how everything is in there. And then he gets an EEG, which is when they put the leads like on his head, and then they measure his brain activity. So because he didn't hardly have any seizures, we were anticipating really good results and just an awesome year. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Jackson had some slowing of his brain waves when they did the EEG, which indicates that he's developing encephalopathy. I don't expect you to remember that word or even pronounce it, but encephalopathy is the start of brain damage. I think we were all kind of floored by this, because what would be causing brain damage to him if we're controlling the seizures more? So that was our first blow. Secondly, the MRI showed that his brain tumor didn't seem to grow, which is wonderful, but he decided to grow another brain tumor on his pineal gland in his brain. It's about 1.4 centimeters, 14 millimeters. So that's about the size of a dime. Um, at this point, Children's Hospital of Wisconsin is not real sure what else to do with Jackson. So I spent several weeks researching different pediatric neurologists all around the whole country. And I think I had a list of 20 that was acceptable to me, and then I brought the list down to about 11. So I contacted 11 different places, and fortunately, the best place for him right now is Mayo Clinic in Minnesota. So that's only 3.5 hours away. As you know, we had to travel to Houston, Texas for his first brain tumor. And that, with the pandemic and stuff, that's hard to do right now. So 2 days after Christmas, my husband and I will be heading up to Minnesota with Jackson, and we'll be there for 10 days. And they are going to do some extensive testing, long-term EEGs, and see if there's anything they can do, and to offer us a plan. Because of the pandemic, we cannot bring our other children. So I've never been away from them like this before. I am panicked. My heart already aches being away from them, and seeing Jackson being split from his siblings is not that great. So I don't know. I'm going to try and make the best of it. New Year's Eve will actually he'll be in the hospital overnight that night. So I just want to try and plan it and make it as fun and nice for him as possible, because that's not a great way to start in 2021. Another issue that Jackson is unfortunately having is to do with his hormones. So we're already treated up at Mayo Clinic in the endocrinology department that deals with his hormones. And we had him up there a year ago because his thyroid was failing. And so that has taken a year, but we have finally kind of got those numbers up. They're low, but they're up above the danger zone. So that's really great. That has to do with his pituitary gland. This next hormone that he's beginning to struggle with has to do with the hypothalamus. It looks like this hormone is overactive, and this hormone is going to control puberty. So it looks like Jackson is beginning to enter puberty. There's a lot of medical issues with that. It's not just like socially awkward. So it's something that I really hope he doesn't have to get treated for yet, but I know at some point along the line he will. So when we go up there in December, we're also going to check that puberty level and see if those numbers are at least steady. If not, then we are going to have to treat it. So finally, I would want to wrap this up with some prayer requests. I understand the power of prayer. So what I would request that you help pray for our family is pray for all 4 of my children. This isn't just Jackson's battles. My other 3 kids, they've had to grow up really fast and learn things about life that I wish they didn't have to. So I would ask that you pray for all of them. And I don't want their childhood taken from them because, they live with these adult problems. That's something that I would definitely ask to pray for. And for my husband, he has a lot of pressure, a lot of stress on his shoulders. And I would just pray that he continues to reach out to God, and that he gets a lot of love and support from our friends and families. He just really needs that, and for people to be understanding with him because he's under a lot of stress. And as far as I go, I am making medical decisions that I am not qualified for. So I always am nervous if I'm making the right choice for Jackson, and that's something I pray for constantly. Like, please guide me to make the right choices for him. Typically when you have a sick child, you follow the advice of the doctors and you go where they tell you, and And that's not the case here. They don't know where we should go at this point. So that being said, let's end 2020 and hope that 2021 is a much better year worldwide.